Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Cilinix Crypto and welcome back to the number one place to get updates on Bittensor and Tau. I'm going to do a full update this Sunday, talking about next week, but also just in general talking about the price action that we have seen for Tau in the last 24 hours and what to expect. We'll talk about some critical levels. And we'll talk about the general expectation for November. Obviously, we have the Bittensor, or we should say Tau, halving. Coming in early December, early to middle of December. That's the main fundamental catalyst that a lot of people are pointing towards and saying, okay, well, that's causing all of this momentum. I think that's partially true. I mean, obviously, like Bittensor already is a very solid project, right? I mean, it's when we're talking about AI cryptos, I'd say Bittensor is the number one serious AI project. And then we've seen a lot of momentum for AI in general, right? And that's not only in crypto, that's also in stocks, and that's also when we're talking about AI momentum in crypto. It's also not only Bittensor, it's multiple projects. I mean, Bittensor is by far the winner, all right? They have most momentum, but we've seen other projects such as Arweave, such as Filecoin doing quite well and showing momentum and showing potential to rally up higher. So in that sense, first of all, when we're talking about this fundamentally, I think this is not over yet. I think Bittensor will rally higher. Now, it's a little bit tricky to just buy Bittensor, right? I mean, for example, right now we're trading at $502. I think the risk reward at a current buy is difficult, all right? And I think that there's better ways to go about that, but we'll talk about that. But so in general, when we're talking about the news, the halving for Bittensor, that's still far away enough to rally ahead of that. So that's good. Very often what you have is when you have one of these major catalysts in the future, is that you have prices rally ahead of that, like a month ahead of that, and then they start to sell off, and we start to see some sort of a sell the news effect, 1 to 2 weeks before the actual event. People front running a sell the news effect, so we still have time in that. And I think the momentum for other AI coins and the AI narrative in crypto is actually still quite young, right? Regardless of that Bittensor, of course, in September was already it was October. Wow, yeah, no, since regardless of the fact that Bittensor was also strong at the start of October. So that's what I think fundamentally. Now, technically, I think that there's a reason to expect us to rally up higher as well. And the key reason for that is that there's no major bearish divergence. All right, this move right here that we had over the course of the last couple of days, when we compare that to the last time we had an extreme amount of momentum, which was Tuesday, the 14th of October, the volume is higher, the open interest is higher, and the RSI is higher. All right, so there's no sign that this is just a major bearish divergence and we're going to pull back. I think on the lower time frames, though, if you look at the 4-hour time frame, the leverage is quite high. We are starting to lose some of that leverage, and we're starting to lose some of that momentum as well. And then we have that major imbalance here to the downside between 473 all the way down into 445. The fundamentals around the general crypto markets are not bad, but they're bad enough to facilitate a pullback. So that's why I'd say it's a little bit more likely for Bittensor, and I said this yesterday as well, by the way. Yesterday I said if we're not going to get a strong reaction at $500, I think we're going to pull back into this level right here between 460 and 450. I think the reaction so far has been weak, so I expect us to pull back lower into that level. But from there, look, if we drop down there with very bad news, if you know what I mean, right? So if bad news is the catalyst that pushes us down there, I would be careful, and I would be a little bit cautious, but ultimately with a normal drop down into that level, which seems most likely due to the decreasing momentum, I think we'll find strong support, and I think from there we will be able to rally up higher into 560 and 570 at least, and from there we'll talk again. But those are my thoughts. I think that's what you need to know about Bittensor going into next week, about the medium term, basically for a majority of November as well. So hopefully it helps. I will keep you updated on this, of course, but for now, thank you for watching. I'll see you on my next videos, and bye.